Hey everyone, welcome back to Cuddy's Bookshelf. So today is August's reading wrap up already. I feel like this month's just flown by. But I did manage to read 18, 19 books this month. So I'll jump straight in. So in my last wrap up, I told you that I read the Zodiac Academy books 1 to 5, including the little novellas in between. So I started this month reading the 5.5 that I hadn't read before. See, I was mistaken. I thought this was like a different point of view for a party that happens in volume 5, but it's not. It's an actual whole different party in itself that is for the Vega Twins, and really loved it, really enjoyed it. And then obviously I read 6, 7, 8 and 8.5, which is the reason I've restarted reading Zodiac Academy. I really loved this. I loved seeing the point of view of people and what's actually happening behind the veil. So this is beyond the veil, and I just really loved it. And I can't really say much about any of these because, you know, spoilers, it's the middle of the series and towards the end of the series, but this shows you what's happening behind the veil once people have passed, or that's passed during the series, that's passed before the series even started. It's just so good. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but chapter 21, so if you're on this book and you know, I can't say who the point of view is either because spoilers for the rest of the series, but chapter 21, I was crying with laughter. Like I could not. I were absolutely rolling. Like I had to put it down because I had tears. I couldn't read. It was just so funny, so funny. So if you have read this series and you have caught up and you are on the last book, well, second to last book because there's going to be a number 9 out, but if you've read the up-to-date one, yeah, I even put a little sticky note like tab on it just so I could say 21, read chapter 21. And I was in stitches, absolute stitches. As always, all of these got 5 stars from me. The series, it's not like the best written, but it's just so addictive and you just fall in love with the characters so fast. And like by the end of the first book, you're like, I hate these certain characters, but then you get so far into the series and you're like, I adore them. I'm absolutely in love with them. So yeah, if you have not read Zodiac Academy, I highly recommend you do. A couple of books that I was a little bit disappointed about this month was Holly Black's The Book of Night. So this is Holly Black's first adult fantasy, and I really enjoyed the concept of it. So like the magic is in our shadows, and I thought that's such a different way of thinking of like magic and stuff, but I don't think it was executed as well as I was hoping. I did enjoy it. I'll probably read the next one just because I'm nosy, but I didn't love it, and I'm gutted because I think overall it would get like a 3-star, but I didn't really love it. I didn't love it. Yeah, 3-star at the maximum, but I will carry on with the series just because, like I said, I need to know. I'm nosy. And I enjoyed Charlie's as a character, but I just find it a bit boring. And it only started like there was a twist in it, but the twist wasn't as shocking as I wanted it to be. And I was just, I don't know. I enjoyed the twist, but not enough to make it so it was giving it a high rating. And I did enjoy the last 2 chapters, but yeah, so Holly Black. The next one that I'm gutted that I didn't enjoy because I got this gorgeous edition of it, and it's The Library of Broken Worlds by L.A. Dawn Johnson. I just don't think, like, it's beautifully written, and it's very, like, complex with the, because it's a space opera, and I don't read many. I did vlog when I first started this. I'm not gonna lie, I find it quite boring at times. I kept falling asleep, so if a book's not gonna keep me awake, then it's not the best. But I did enjoy it. It's a bit like the Holly Black one. I did enjoy it, just not my favourite. And yeah, I'm a bit gutted by it because it's an absolute stunning edition. But it just, I don't know, it just wasn't for me. And I hope that if you've got this from the Locked Library, that you really enjoyed it, because I do think it's very well written, and the more you delve into it, the better it is. And then there's like twist, and then there's action and everything. And yeah, it was an okay book. 3 stars for me personally. Then the next 2 I will do together because it's a series. So it's Tyrann Mathies, This Woven Kingdom, and These Infinite Threads. Really enjoyed these. Can't wait for the next one. This is a Parisian YA fantasy. I love the description of everything, like the clothes and everything. It all seems really like rich, and the magic. I love that it had like court intrigue. I loved the characters, how Eliza and Cameron first meet. They're both the 2 point of views that you get in this book, and it's with Eliza holding a knife to Cameron's throat, and you think, oh, there it is. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. This one I also loved. I think this one did a lot of like setting up for the series, as the first books in series normally do. This one you fall in love with other characters, and I just really liked like the riddles. The riddles in the book were Def's point of view, and I just really loved that, and I can't wait to see where the series goes. I did really enjoy these. I'm so glad that I did, and yeah, they was great. So next I will do the manga that I read. It's the same 2 series because every time they come in I always end up reading them straight away. So it is Kaijo number 8, volume 7. This is about Kafka, who is always wanted to be in the armed forces. He starts making his way to getting into the armed forces, but then he starts to go through changes himself. And the whole premise of it is, how can he help fight the Kaijo when he's becoming one? And it goes from there. It's really, oh, so good. Really enjoying this series. The next one is Romantic Killers Volume 4. So this is about a girl who's obsessed with 3 things. One is her cat, one is gaming, and one is like chocolate and snacks and stuff. And a magical creature comes along, takes all 3 of those away, and is trying to force her to build a romance with someone. And it puts her in these predicaments and scenarios and everything with guys, and basically just surrounding her with hot guys and hoping that she falls in love with one of them. And it's going along from there. And this one is more of the story and how she gets her things back, and I really can't wait to find out where it goes from there, because who knows. I will do the middle grade ones next. So I've got 2 middle grade. So I read A Pinch of Magic. This is by Michelle Harrison. This I really enjoyed. I really want to pick up the next one as soon as I can. I loved the ending on how it ended, and I just thought it was really sweet, and it warmed my heart up at the end with what happens. It's a story about 3 sisters that's trapped in this ancient curse, and they have these 3 magical items that will help them break the curse, like try and find a way to break the curse. And I loved the characters of each sister and how much they love each other, and it's just a really loving, great, heartbreaking at times, but great story, and I highly recommend. The next one is Greenwild, The World Behind the Door. I loved this middle grade. I absolutely loved this middle grade. I was like, oh, I want the next one now. I loved that it's all like botanical, and all of the magic is surrounded by like flowers and like botanists, and it was just so good. So the main character, her mum goes missing, and her mum leaves her something and was like, go to this place and help will come. So she goes and she gets taken to the Greenwild, and it's a school, so you can learn about the botanical magic. There's all kinds, and it's just, I want to go to this school. You can't beat a magical school. And there's like friendships which the girl has never really been able to build before, because she's always travelled with her mum. So with them always travelling, she just tended to not make friends with anyone. So it's her building some lovely friendships and going through these trials and finding out like the mystery of who is doing the bad things and like who's the traitor in the Greenwild. And it's just really, really good. I highly recommend. So the next book is Run Rose Run by James Patterson and Dolly Parton. I really enjoyed this thriller. It was so, it just screamed Dolly. To me, it just screamed Dolly with the songs that the girl was writing. So it is about a girl who is on the run, but was also really wanting to make it in music. She's trying to catch her big break, whilst also on the run from her past. And the way that she writes lyrics and everything, I could differentiate between what Dolly had written herself, and it was just, and there's an album to go with this book, and yes, I have listened to it and it's great. It's just Dolly in it. But yeah, this was a really, really good book. I would say like a 4-star. I just really enjoyed it. I devoured it very quickly, and I did like the little twist on the end. It's not like my favourite thriller-esque, but I found it really cosy with Dolly's writing. I just found it, I was drawn to it more, and it was just a really, really good thriller. And yeah, I recommend you give it a read. It's still a really good book, because 4 stars is still a really good read. And with this as well, I didn't just read it physically, I also read it with the Audible, because I was just going to read it physically, and then I found out that Dolly did one of the characters, like voiced one of the characters in the audio, so I was just like, well, it would be rude not to. So I did read along with the audio, and then sometimes I'll just have the audio, sometimes I'll just do it physically, but really enjoyed hearing Dolly on the audio also. So the next book is The Snow Child. I really loved this. It was so whimsical and heartbreaking, and then joyous, heartbreaking again. And the ending, I just adored the ending. I really did. And I loved, like, Jack and Mabel. They were just so sweet and so caring and so loving. And the way the book is described, with the cold and everything, because it's set in Alaska, and sometimes when they're talking about the cold, it's so descriptive that you feel like you're in the cold. It's such a good winter read, so I highly recommend you read this during the winter. I know that I've read it not in the winter, in the summer practically, but it was a book club. A friend picked it for a book club, but I do highly recommend that you read this in the winter. But it's such a lovely, whimsical, sad, happy, shocking book. It's lovely. It's lovely. Highly recommend. The next book is Terry Pratchett's Weird Sisters. So I read Equal Rights, which is the first in the Witches series. So in the Discworld, there's 41 books, but you can break them down into series. So I'm going through the Witches ones first, and I am loving it. I fell in love with Nanny Ogg, Granny Weatheraxe and Margaret, and they are just hilarious, absolutely hilarious. I loved that this had so much like Shakespeare influence in it, with the Macbeth and the Three Witches, and it's just the humour that comes across, and the humour in the footnotes, they're just so funny. If you've not ever read any of the Discworld and you find it intimidating, so did I. So did I. I have not read any of the others yet. I've only literally read Equal Rights and now the Weird Sisters. And I have got these ones, which is the rest of the Witches ones. But after I finish these paperbacks, I'm trying to collect the hardback editions of all of the Discworld. So I'm yet to have this one in the hardback edition yet. But it is one that I will buy eventually and have them all in that collection. But while I thought I got these paperbacks, I might as well read them. And I was not disappointed. The humour and one of my favourite bits in this is when a certain somebody gets locked in the castle dungeon, and then there's like a rescue, and the humour, they're just so funny. They're so funny, and it's just a weird and wacky world, and it's just great. It's just absolutely great. I loved it. And look, it's so floppy. It was so nice to hold. But yeah, highly recommend the Discworld. Especially, like, obviously I've only read the Witches ones, but if all the others are just as funny as this, I don't think you can go wrong. You can start in any group. I think I'm going to go on to the Death series after this one. Not sure, but loved it. Then I also read a Colleen Hoover book. So this is Regretting You. I really enjoyed this, actually. I don't think I've read a Colleen Hoover book that I haven't enjoyed. This is a point of view of both a mother, who is Morgan, and the daughter, which is Clara. And Morgan, it starts off when Morgan was younger and when she finds out that she is pregnant. And she has, so it starts with her sister, her boyfriend at the time, and then her sister's boyfriend. And her sister's boyfriend are very much alike. They're very, like, introverted, not very go-outy. But then her sister and her boyfriend are extremely alike. Like, they like going out partying, getting drunk, so on and so forth. And so at first I was like, something's got to happen between Morgan and her sister's boyfriend, because there's like this spark between them. But no, there is a shocking twist, and it wasn't what I was expecting. Something tragic happens, and then all these secrets come flying out, and oh my days. And it's like many years later, the daughter is now in her teens, finding love on her own merit, and it was just a really good read. It was a fun, quick read. I enjoyed it. And yeah, if you don't like Colleen Hoover, I do apologise, but I enjoyed it. I read You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. Really, really loved this. I enjoyed it so much. I loved the friendship to lovers in it, and the whole time you're just like, oh, just be together, and you're just like, just get together already. I loved that because there is such a close friendship between them. They've got like their own love language towards each other, even when they're with like different partners. They've got this like inside jokes and everything, and I just really loved that they was always connected. And yeah, this is about a girl and a boy a man and a woman who for many years have once a year go on holiday together, and this was going to be their last year of going on holiday together, and to see if it could be any more than just their friendship, and this was their last chance sort of thing. So, but yeah, really, really great. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, Jennifer, again for buying me this. I devoured it. I think I only need, like, is it, no, I've got Book Lovers. What's the other one? Is it Beach Reads? Is it Beach Reads? The other Emily Henry? Beach Reads? Book Lovers is one I've got. I think it's Beach Reads, isn't it? The other Emily Henry. Because I think I've read all of them apart from that one. But yeah, loved it. Thank you. And then last but not least, I read Convenience Store Woman. And this was also a gift by KJ. So thank you, KJ, so much. To say this is so thin, it was so, like, the message was so impactful. This story is about a woman who works in a convenience store, and she works there for a long time. So she is like pressured into, when are you getting married, when are you having babies, when are you going to get a better job if you're not going to do the other. And then there's also a man in this, and he's got a lot of pressure of, like, why haven't you got a decent job, why are you not married, so on and so forth. And it shows you the pressures that society put on people, both men and women, in different ways, in different cultures, and that you are a certain type of person if you're not following society's, like, guidelines and rules and what people think you should be doing. And it shows two aspects of it, of a person that will do anything just to fit in and stopped being like bombarded with questions and when and why and what are you doing with your life. And then another person that starts to conform to society but realizes, like, it's not what your heart wants. If you've got to follow your own heart, and what society thinks should be right isn't always what's best. And that's what I took away from this book, and it's so true, and I absolutely loved it. Devoured. Thank you again, KJ, for this one. I've had such a fun reading month, and I can't wait to get to next ones. I hope that you also had a really good August with reading, and if you had any 5 stars, any book recommendations that you think I might like, please leave them in the comments. And I hope that you are well. I hope that you did enjoy the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more from me, please subscribe. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye. Hey everyone, welcome back to... Where am I? That started off so well, didn't it? I don't know. An absolutely stunning edition. Eliza. Hold on. Eliza. Cat's, well, her cat. So, and a magical creature comes along. No. A little stack is gonna fall over. Is it Jack and Mabel? Yeah, I loved Jack and Mabel's story on and how I just feel like, it's just, I'm too excited. Right. The way that the book stay. Please don't fall. The next book is I was not ready, was I? The next book is Terry Pratchett's The Weird not the In the Discworld. There is it 26 books? 27 books? A lot of books. Hold on. Oh, there's more than that. 41. Yeah, I was way off, wasn't I? Margaret. And shows you the pressures that society... Oh, I feel like I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please... What am I doing with my life? What am I doing with my life? I don't even know how to close a video. This is where I wish I was Matilda. And I could just go... And they all just put themselves away on the shelves. Oh. Hop to hiddly hop. Come from Matilda to Miss Trunchbull. Oh, I'm Miss Trunchbull with me here, something like this. Off to the chokey.